Hi everyone. Crazy tough times at the moment. Self-isolation, disruption to everything we're doing. You know it's got bad in England when they've had to shut the pubs. It's even happened to my local, the Oaks, and the Globe, and the Sandpiper, and the Nelson, and the Ship, and the Rising Sun, and the Bear. We've heard about this fantastic new idea out of Japan. On nomi means online drinking. Friends getting together, sharing a drink virtually when they couldn't share one together. So we've invited some of our friends, some of our PH ambassadors, some of the people we work with to have a chat and tell us how they're getting on in this crisis. Hello again everyone. This is now the 26th of March, so we're a few more days into the coronavirus situation, and having another on nomi online drinks, this time with Scott and Carrie all the way in sunny Southern California. How you doing, guys?
Good, thank you, Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Good. And I'll get this one out of the way. What are you drinking first of all?
It's just a nice hot cuppa for us.
Well, it's PG Tips.
PG Tips.
Proper English tea.
It's only 1:30 p.m. so we have a few hours left to drinking hour.
Well, I've got something a bit harder on the go, but it is late here.
What do you have there?
I've got some Buffalo Trace tonight.
No.
Perfect. Well, I've been saying this since this whole coronavirus started. One whiskey a day keeps the coronavirus away.
Yeah, I can endorse that. Cheers to you both, anyway.
Yes.
And what time's drink o'clock start in your house? You were telling me before it's.
Yep. Well, so we've implemented a no drinking path till after 7 throughout through this lockdown.
That sounds like a sensible precaution for a pro athlete.
unless I'm cooking before 7, then I'm allowed.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, my wife says that the wine you drink when you're cooking doesn't count really, because it's just kind of
that's a really good rule. I like that.
Process. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about that. Great. Right. So diving straight in with some questions for you guys. First of all, pro athletes. I'm going to direct this one as well. Let me start with Carrie. As a pro athlete, this year you've had most of your jobs wiped off the map with the cancellation of a lot of races. How is this going to impact you?
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of the thoughts, that you're having to basically start from scratch, like at any point in the year. It's just so hard that everything for us was just actually kind of starting to come into focus, and we had a little bit of a plan. We usually start the year a little later, probably around May. So in terms of where we were at racing wise, it wasn't, it didn't seem like it was going to affect us too much, holding those first, races back. But now we can see kind of the direction that this is going and how many more races have been cancelled now into the year. And we're looking at, basically starting the year in possibly August or later. It's really difficult to plan for. And I think we've just decided to just let that go completely and just focus on, keeping ourselves fit and in good spirits and healthy. And when I guess we start to see that, races, might be happening, then we can make more of a plan. But at the moment, it's an interesting time.
Yeah, and with regards to the sort of, the basic kind of financial impact for you as a pro athlete, what's the outlook looking like, do you think? How much of your income would you have expected to come from races between sort of May and August?
The bulk of my, income in the last few years has come primarily from races from May, June, right through till December.
And is that mainly prize money for you?
That's mainly prize money, but that's also, the sponsorship payments that come with that, bonus payments. And also, retainer payments from, sponsors if, I'm lucky to have those. But yeah, I recognize now that, well, firstly, there's a big hit in prize money. Those races aren't happening. And, also, like I said, the extra bonus payments from sponsors that would have gone along with that. And I'm also very aware, and I understand that, this is going to be a very difficult time for a lot of our sponsors as well. So their ability to be able to make, those payments, it might be difficult for them. So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty for us, in terms of, the financial, the income. We were lucky enough to have the PTO newly formed and on our site. Well, not newly formed, sorry, but we've had, them really show their support and their belief in us as athletes, and they've been able to relieve some of that stress off some of the professional athletes.
Tell them why.
They've increased the amount of $2 million to $2.5 million. That was the money that was paid out to athletes. There was going to be an advance payment and then a bonus payment at the end of the year. But they made the decision to pay all of that now to the athletes.
And that's something I was reading about recently. And so you've got a bit more stability in that. And I know, Scotty, that you're heavily involved in the PTO on the board. Is it treasurer, your role with the PTO?
I'm the treasurer.
Yeah, there you go. And so what's the PTO's plan for the rest of the year, or how's that plan? I guess that plan's probably coming together at the moment.
It's a work in progress for sure, but the payments are going out as we speak to the top 100 athletes, male and female. So 200 athletes will get a cash injection. So it's looking good for now, but we're certainly working behind the scenes to plan more events. Obviously, the Collins Cup is going to be pushed a year, which is a shot in the arm because it was coming together really nicely. But we'll look towards 2021, like a lot of other events are having to do. I mean, look at the Olympics being pushed a year. That's an incredible move.
I think what was interesting as well was even 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Olympics were very much putting out messaging that it was still going ahead and they planned everything to be as it was. And then it's amazing how fast everything's changed, and people are just reeling from, making these fast decisions at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone's just in hope that it's all just going to go away, you know, but it seems to be going the other way.
We're definitely realizing that it's not, and it's probably going to be around for a fair bit longer. So the other side of what you guys do is run a coaching business, KIS, and Scotty, with the sort of situation, and you're having a lot of coaching input with Carrie, I know that, but what are you telling all of your athletes? What's your key messaging through this next period when their races have gone?
I was just saying before we got on the call that Brett Sutton, who was a mentor of mine, just wrote a piece about it, about how if you're struggling for a bit of motivation, you should go look yourself in the mirror, because if that's what motivates you, competition, then you're in the sport for the wrong reasons. It's probably not what got you into the sport to begin with. So we at KIS, we really push, or our ethos is balance, and living a balanced, healthy lifestyle comes before competition. So I'm really just pulling back the intensity and telling people, control what you can control. Forget the swimming for now. If you can't swim, it's okay to do some dry land activity, but if you feel like you need to make up hours, get on the bike and spin. The heart is the most important muscle in the body. So work your ticker out on the turbo, or if you're lucky to be able to go outside, like we still are lucky enough to be able to go outside, we're just riding a lot. And for us, that's therapeutic, both from a mental standpoint, but it's just also great to be outside and and spring is in the air. Even though we're lucky with great weather here, we still get spring here in San Diego. Everything's blooming, and so the sun's setting later and later each day. So we're just trying to take it week to week, like the rest of us, and not overreact, not panic. I'm hopeful we're going to have races at the end of the year. If you follow us on Instagram, I've been writing a 3-part series on how we've approached Carrie's training the last few seasons. And the whole point of that is I need to finish it tonight, but Carrie peaks in August and she holds her peak till the end of the year. So for us, where we are right now, it's only the end of March. And actually, I was looking through our log from last year. We're ahead. Her fitness and mine as well. Our swim and run are ahead of where we were this time last year, and that's because we started pressing it earlier because we were sort of thinking about doing Ironman Australia in early May. But last year we really didn't get cranking with the miles until April, and then the races between the first race in the early May all the way through Alpe d'Huez in late July. Those were all training races. So obviously this year now we're probably not going to have any racing through July. I'm still a little bit hopeful, maybe perhaps Alpe d'Huez and maybe Santa Rosa here in California is going to go off, but if it doesn't, we just push it a few more weeks and keep moving. Never stop moving. Objects in motion, stay in motion. Objects at rest, stay at rest.
Very much so. And we were talking earlier before we actually started recording about the fact that around your local area, because people can still get out at the moment, there's not a full lockdown. You're seeing a load of people out there exercising who maybe wouldn't normally because they're kind of feeling hemmed in their houses. Do you think that's a positive thing that's going to come out of all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are discovering the power of exercise or rediscovering the power of exercise.
Yeah.
I mean, we were riding last weekend out east of here, and the bike trails that we use the bike paths to kind of connect roads and packed with people. Not, obviously respecting the distances that we're supposed to keep between one another, but a lot of people out exercising and kids learning how to ride their bike, like your boy. My nephew's learning how to ride his bike back in New Jersey. So I think, perhaps we'll see a bit of a running boom, exercise boom when this is all said and done.
Yeah, I hope so. I've definitely seen it around our local area because I'm an early runner all the time, year round. I'm usually out between 6 and 7 a.m. or something like that. And just this morning, I'm like tripping over people on the beachfront and on the trails and stuff, which is great. And people, like you say, people who best will in the world are not normally out there exercising at that time, but they've realised they've latched onto what we all know as athletes of what you get from doing that, which is really cool. It's good. Peace of mind, sets you up for the day.
I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And look, the world has an obesity problem. And perhaps this is the world's way of shaking things up. I don't know. Maybe people will get out there and move and they'll change their lives for the better because they've got this opportunity to press reset and things
are not at work in their office.
Yeah, maybe telecommuting will be a healthy option for people at the end of this. And
I think a lot of people,
general population.
Definitely, a lot of people are reclaiming a lot of time in their day because they're not having to commute and those kind of things. And I certainly see some merit in that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm going to change it up a little bit and just ask you a quick question about something. There's this talk about Ironman virtual racing. Have you engaged with that at all?
You want me to answer that, or Cass? Maybe I should.
It's probably a good day
I can imagine what you're going to say.
Because I'm a little moody on just because of as I'm allowed to be right now. So I'll be too direct. So he can soften the blow.
Andy, I from a professional athlete standpoint, I don't think there's a place for virtual racing.
Yeah.
It's just not reality. There's no bike handling skills. There's no swim. You're in a closed environment. There's no wind. There's no psychological elements of racing, which is half the battle, are completely taken away. I don't see a place for it. At this current time that we're faced with, I don't think people should be competing, really. The entire sports world, in terms of competition, has been shut down. We're in a war together. I don't think people should be focusing on any sort of competition. Now, virtual group rides, bringing people together to live a happier lifestyle. Everyone's locked in their homes and they're not allowed to go out, and they can get on a computer and jog around Central Park virtually with 1,000 other people. That's fantastic. I just don't see a place for racing. That's my opinion.
I think I'm largely with you on that. I love the idea of group online activity. I mean, even just the simplicity of, I've got a couple of guys that I used to race with seriously years ago who live locally to me. We often go running on a Saturday morning, but we're not grouping up to do it at the moment. But I can see what the guys are doing on Strava. They can see what I'm doing. We have a few comments, when people have done a run, and it just keeps that little bit of virtual community feel going. But I don't know how I'd feel about competing online. It doesn't, I don't know. Yeah, it's not the reason why I got into competition years ago. It was that more kind of real world element, the grittiness of it, and I don't know if that's there online. So I think I'm in the same camp as you for that one. Last quick question from me to Carrie then is, Carrie, I've been around your house on Christmas Day, in fact, a couple of years ago for Christmas for Misfits, and experienced your amazing cooking ability. So is there more of that going on now you've got this downtime? Are you keeping Scotty well fed with new recipes at the moment?
Not too many new recipes yet. Maybe a few coming up this week. I think slowly we've been still in the routine for the last couple of weeks, but it's difficult because I do want to cook more, but I also want to go to the shops less. So it's hard at the moment because you're not quite used to that. I would look up a recipe and be, oh yeah, I want to cook this, and then I'd run down to the shop and get whatever I need for it. I don't want to do that at the moment because I'm trying to I'm trying to do my part and limit the amount of times I go to the shop. So I'm kind of sticking to the same things. I had all intentions of being creative, but all I know in my mind are the things that usually require the least amount of ingredients. So far it's a bit boring.
She's downplaying it. She's doing a wonderful job.
But we can still get a good piece of meat, us, Andy.
Yeah.
Market's still got plenty of meat.
What I was going to say is that, if you decided that this now was the time to launch your cooking channel on YouTube or on Instagram or something like that, I would definitely subscribe because I need some help in that department. And I cannot think of anyone better to teach me. So
I do some basics. I do some good basics.
Yeah, so sign me up for your online course in basic cooking over the next few months. I think a lot of athletes would be down with that.
Okay.
Stay tuned, Andy, because the PTO is working on a platform where that's going to be one of the things that we're coming up with creative ways to offer some of the professional athletes out there that can't show their skills on the race course. So what are some of the other skills they have? And that's one of the things we're going to be showcasing.
That's an awesome idea. What are you going to be showcasing, Scotty, on that?
Well, I have quite the skills as a barbecue man.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Can't clean a barbecue, but I can cook the meat.
Well, mate, I'm looking forward. It's good. It might be a while this time, but I'm looking forward to the next time I can pop round for a barbecue with you guys.
We'll have to quarantine you in the garage.
Yeah, I'm staying there for 2 weeks.
14 days.
Yeah, I'd happily do that. In fact, Cardiff by the Sea for 2 weeks.
Just give you a surfboard. You go.
Well, anyway, so I'm gonna love you and leave you. Thanks for a lovely chat and a virtual drink. Next time it'll be a proper one, hopefully.
Okay,
take it easy, and see you soon.
Okay, ciao, bye.
Bye.